Close your eyes and feel the chilly winds whistling that freeze you. Welcome to the frozen land of Greenland, where the temperatures can reach an astoundingly low of -50 degrees Celsius in winter, and the sun may not rise for days in winter and not set in summer. Can you imagine that? Sleeping during the day for 24 hours? Scenic beauty. Greenland, a land of magnificent icebergs, colossal glaciers and mountains, is a heaven on earth. It is home to majestic marine mammals such as the narwhal whale and harp seal. The nights in winter will blow you away because of the northern lights, also known as the Aurora Borealis. On clear winter nights, vibrant ribbons of green, purple and pink dance across the sky, casting an ethereal glow and leaving spectators in awe. Be it winter or summer, Greenland won't fail to amaze and captivate you with its breathtaking view of utter brilliance. The unforgiving winter. Life can get tough when everything, including your eyebrows, is freezing. Nature won't leave any chance to pounce at you if you're not careful, and it gets really challenging to survive in such harsh conditions. So let's look at how people survive the cold embrace and the shivering hugs in the small distant villages of this frozen land. Winter is the most extended season in Greenland, starting from the month of December and taking its toll till April. With frozen lakes and unforgiving cold, life compels you to be extraordinary in order to survive. Imagine you open the tap and get shards of ice instead of water. The days get shorter and shorter as winter penetrates the insulated homes. The daylight duration varies from 9 hours a day to just 3 hours on the shortest days. There are even days when it's dark and the sun is on a vacation. Everything gets covered in snow, the houses, roads, infrastructure and the forests. I can almost feel the cold in my bones now. The life of the residents. With extreme weather and when everything is freezing, you have to be resilient and tough to survive. Magic happens here as you can walk on water as the lakes are frozen. The villagers need a lot of wood to keep their houses warm non-stop as the temperature plummets to unimaginable depths. The ice must be harvested and stored during the early winter for the water as the pipes are frozen. Some tough measures must be taken to get through such low temperatures. The food the Inuits eat, the clothes they wear, and the way their life progresses are in themselves an art. Food. A whale a day keeps the cold away. We've all seen whales, seals, and reindeer on National Geographic, but not once would we have thought to eat them. But here in Greenland, they are a staple diet. Getting the food is not an easy task, as no food can be imported because the lakes are frozen, so is the harbour. So if that's not possible, then what? They hunt. Hunting is an old tradition of Greenland, embedded in the people for centuries. The seals and fish are hunted by using old techniques through ice holes. Nets are laid for the seals and fish under the thick ice through holes. The national dish of Greenland is called suasat, which is a soup made from seal meat mostly, but reindeer meat and whale meat are also enjoyed in this delicacy by the Inuits. Ptarmigan is a bird that the Inuits also hunt and is considered a delicacy. These meats keep the body warm due to their high fat content and help in countering the extreme cold. Other dishes include seal ribs and narwhal whale skin, eaten raw or dried. You might be wondering why I only eat meat. That's because agriculture is not possible on ice, unfortunately. The clothes in the north. You may call the fashion sense of the Greenlanders a little dull, but believe me, if you're given a choice between aesthetics and not turning into a snowman, you would choose the latter. To prevent the chilly winds from taking your fingers off your hand, you need gloves. Not only gloves, but ones made from the skin of a polar bear. The attire mostly includes heavy coats and pants made from seal and polar bear skin, which is called colossal. The head and ears need to be properly covered as well. All this is to keep warm and protect oneself from the lowest of temperatures that can cause frostbite if not taken seriously. You don't want your fingers turning all sorts of colors and freezing so much that you can't feel them anymore, do you? How do the Inuits travel? The people living in the north of Greenland, such as in the villages of Uummannaq and Suartut, mostly use sleds pulled by dogs, not any breed but rather wolf dogs, called Canis lupus familiaris. So if you see Santa on a sled in Greenland, don't be surprised. This is because the ice is not thick enough to bear the weight of cars, and the light-weighted sleds make it convenient, and at least prevent freezing to death by falling in the icy cold water. The Inuits also use snowmobiles when feasible. Imagine the silence and the white around you as you travel on a sled pulled by dogs to reach the frozen sea, under which you will find food for the day, and if not, you may have to go without eating if nothing is stored back home. That's how it is to live in one of the northern villages of Greenland. The challenges. The life of the villagers is not all sweet and happy. They are also faced with challenges and hardships like any other person would. Environmental. With increasing global warming, the climate is changing, causing the ice to melt and causing the sea level to rise. This not only puts our Earth in danger, but also threatens the existence of life in Greenland. The ice is getting thinner, making it dangerous for Inuits to carry on their way of living, as it gets difficult for Inuit hunters to navigate and access hunting grounds, impacting their ability to sustain their traditional way of life. Many are shifting from seal hunting to fishing, which is seen as a low-status activity. Wildlife, such as seals and polar bears, are in danger as their habitats are getting limited because of the melting ice. Social. With daily struggles, the people are confronted with a new challenge. The population of these villages is getting smaller and smaller, as people are migrating to better developed parts of Greenland in search of new opportunities, as they don't want to only rely on hunting forever. This puts the culture and traditions at risk as modernization is creeping into the life of Greenlanders, taking them away from their culture. Community and culture. Though life may be difficult, these people have been surviving here for centuries. We see the cold and all the ice as hurdles, but the villagers have found life in this very ice. The identity and meaning of their existence are hidden in their culture and ways of their living. They have held on to it for years, such as hunting, which is the very joy of celebrations in these parts. The Inuit heritage has been passed on from generation to generation, and each generation has held it together deep in their hearts. Where there is a will, there is a way. Faced with rough truths and harsh realities, the Inuits have not given up and are eager to hold on to their way of life. They have battled the way of cultural assimilation brought by the Danes in order to exploit these lands. The trauma brought by the loss of identity led many people to commit suicide or got addicted to alcohol in order to escape the horrors of life. However, they have kept themselves together and strong under the umbrella of their cultural values and have not stopped growing as a community that is brought together by their values and identity. Life may be unforgiving at times, but the resilience of these people is not to be taken easily as they continue their lives. If you enjoyed this adventure with us, then stay tuned for our upcoming videos.